A source has come to me and suggested that Amazon have a big plan. A plan that, if true, will divide Stargate fans and will actually maybe even upset a few of you. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV movie channel. So on a couple of lives recently, I've been talking about my idea about how to conclude Stargate Universe. I suggested we should do it with an animated movie. A couple of days ago, I released a video talking about how I had this whole plan for Stargate for when the franchise returned, and that did include a Stargate animated movie. I basically suggested that because Amazon are doing animated movies with Warner Brothers Animation, and Warner Brothers Animation have just done the Babylon 5 animated movie. So that inspired my cogs, and I thought, well, would that make sense? I then got a message from a source I haven't spoken to in nearly a year, and the message basically said, "How did you know that?" I responded with, I didn't know that. I did not know that SGU is going to be an animated movie. I was just talking out loud, thinking. And they said, well, you might be closer to the truth than you think. And obviously, I then had to follow up with a few questions. Before we get into it, I have to say this is firmly in the rumour category. I have tried to speak to other sources that I speak to that are in and around MGM, and none of them know anything about this. This source, again, I haven't spoken to for about a year. I have confirmed that they do work at MGM. They still work at MGM. They spoke to me back then because they were very unhappy about the Amazon sale, but they were always kind of nervous about talking to a YouTuber, and, you know, they cut ties for quite a long time. What they have actually said, though, which is, again, firmly in the rumour category, like I want to put a big sign up going, rumour, 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 is that not only is an SGU movie planned, it's already in production. They're already making it. Now, I'm going to come back to that point in a little while, because if true, that's quite extraordinary. So first of all, the divisive nature. Why do I think this will actually upset as many fans as it'll excite? SGU is one of those shows that is either loved, I mean, like adored. Like some people think it's genuinely the best of all the Stargates, or not so much. People think it's a little boring. I'm in that camp. I have to admit, I don't love it. And they, you know, don't really care about Stargate Universe. I would argue, however, though, that most gators are irritated by the way SGU ended, that it's just been left in limbo, and would like a conclusion to it. My argument was that I don't think there are enough fans to warrant a new series, a movie, or anything like that. But maybe there is enough interest to get the SGU animated movie, because it would cost much, much less to produce. So it's logical. Is it possible, though, that Amazon executives have been thinking the same way as me, but thought about it 6 months ago? Well, there have been a few rumours over the last 12 months that all of a sudden would make maybe a little bit more sense if we consider this SGU possibility to be true. First of all, we heard a rumour 8 or 9 months ago now, I think, something like that, that Robert Carlyle had actually been approached about doing something for MGM related to Stargate. So we got very excited and said, well, does that mean we are actually getting a Stargate SGU conclusion? Brad Wright always said we would. And if they were actually approaching him, were those plans further along than we realised? Now, since then, we've realised that actually, no, it looks like they are going for a movie. Could Robert Carlyle appear in that? It seemed unlikely. But what if they approach Robert Carlyle about doing the voice of Rush for the animated movie? A project that then he potentially actually did the work for anything up to 6 months ago. Now, I am completely just spitballing there. That is just me thinking out loud. But is it possible? Maybe. Another rumor that we heard a lot about was that Amazon were talking to Warner Brothers about doing Stargate. We genuinely believe that Bad Robot pitched at least twice for the Stargate franchise, and they are obviously currently in an exclusive deal with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers are looking to produce more things with other studios. The Creed series was actually done recently in partnership between Warner Brothers and MGM, so there's already that working relationship. Amazon are doing the Lord of the Rings animated movie in partnership with Warner Brothers Animation. So is it possible, actually, that those rumours were nothing to do with sort of the main Stargate franchise, but actually were more to do with an animated SGU movie? That's where the rumours came from. That's why we have constantly heard Warner Brothers names connected to Stargate. But really, it wasn't Warner Brothers. It was Warner Brothers Animation we should have been looking at. Again, I'm speculating, but maybe. I can't help but think as well, though, that this is just a way to actually restart the franchise in a positive way that would really make sense to a lot of fans. You tie off all those loose strings. You have like a full circle. You know, you begin where you ended. You get to actually have a satisfying end to SGU that will excite fans and get us keen and excited about the new Stargate franchise. To me, it seems a bit of a no-brainer to Amazon that they might at least consider this. But is it possible that they've actually already done it? Is it possible that this is maybe being animated right now? So, if we go by the Robert Carlyle possible rumour. Now, the rumour I heard basically was that Robert Carlyle had been approached to do something. That David Blue hadn't been, I should add to this. David Blue, who played Eli, that Amazon didn't want to approach him about it. Now, I don't know why that is. I have heard a few rumours about possibly why, but I don't want to go into him. I actually really respect David Blue. I think he's a brilliant actor. I love him to death. I follow him on Twitter and I think he's great. And I don't want to get into rumours that are quite negative. Because as well, I don't know if they're true or not. So let's leave it. But that was the rumour that they hadn't approached him. So if Robert Carlyle had maybe done the voice for this SGU animated movie that maybe ran along the lines of the comic books that they did, something like that, then he'd done that maybe 3-4 months ago, something like that. And this was now being animated. Is that the normal way to do this? Well, yes, they tend to do storyboarding, a script, obviously. They get an idea what the movie's going to look like. They do some preliminary pre-production. They then do the voice acting. They then do the animation, because then the animators can use the inflections of the voice of the actor, etc., and it changes the animation. So what they don't want to do is animate something and have the actor just trying to like follow the lines. They want to actually bring a little bit of the actor into the actual animation if they can. So he could have done that 3 or 4 months ago. But now we've got all the strikes. So would that be a problem? Well, no, the animators aren't on strike. They're still working. So again, this could be something that actually Amazon are able to do. Look, they want to do and they want to announce lots of things, Robocop, Stargate, etc., 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 but they can't because of the strikes. But what they can do is an animated movie. So maybe they are. That opens up another interesting possibility, though. What if, as soon as the strikes end, they are then able to announce the new Stargate franchise? And oh, by the way, in a couple of months, the animated movie comes out. But could they actually keep an animated movie like that secret this long? They did it with the Babylon 5 Road Home movie. We knew nothing about that until it was complete. It was done. It was in the can. It was ready to be released. JMS announced it. J. Michael Straczynski, the creator of Babylon 5, announced it on Twitter. Nobody knew. Nobody had that. They were able to keep it really, really secret because it's a bunch of animators locked in a room and the actors only come in and then again get locked in a room for a couple of days. It's very, very difficult unless you've got an insider actually at the animation studios to get that information out. There are no big sets being built that, you get lots of leaks from. There aren't lots and lots of people involved in it to, again, for somebody to leak it. So it's very possible that this SGU movie actually has already had the voices done and is currently being animated. Maybe this wasn't Amazon's plan all along. The source actually did say to me, look, the strikes, and obviously they knew the strikes were coming for a few months before, but the strikes have changed Amazon's plans. This was not how they wanted to do this, but it's the best they can do with what they've got. Now, if that is true, and I'm putting a big if, underlined in bold, if that is true, then actually it's very logical and it does kind of make sense. Now, I have to reiterate, this is one source that has given me this information. I do not know how they know it. I do not know details. This is basically, look, 2 emails that I got, and they were both quite brief. The source does not want to go into any more details. They are actually quite afraid of about losing their job, and they never really like talking to me in the first place. But this really is a fascinating piece of information. I would like to publicly thank them for sharing it with me. I really do like the fact that I have a few sources, particularly from MGM, that do talk to me. This all started with one person at MGM sending me a message about a video actually that I did that was incorrect. They were then amazing at sort of introducing me to other sources. The sources that actually gave me this information has never really given me stuff like this before, but they were really instrumental and, again, introducing me to others. I've been able to build up a little bit of trust over the last 18 months to 2 years, and these sources know that they can tell me this stuff, and I will keep their identities secret, and I will only share what they tell me I can. I have to admit, it's very annoying that there is one piece of information, particularly about Stargate right now, that I know that I can't share. And I know that's teasing, but it's driving me crazy that I can't tell you. Let's hope I can at some point soon. I would love to know, guys, though, what you actually think about this. Is it possible, for one? And how likely is it if you think it is possible? I'm going, this is maybe 1 in 3. I would give this a 1 in 3 chance of being actually true. So possible, good possibility, but unlikely is the way I feel about it. But I'd love to know what sort of chance you would give it. And if it is true, do you want to see it? So when I first heard about this rumor and I wondered whether it was possible, I put a poll on the channel and I basically said, if the only way Amazon MGM were willing to conclude SGU was with an animated movie, would you buy the Blu-ray? And by that I mean Blu-ray, stream it, whatever, pay to watch it. 38% of you said yes, sign me up. 25% of you, a quarter, said no, I won't watch animation. And 36% of you said, yeah, I'll watch it, but I'll wait till it's somewhere free. You know, basically on somewhere I already pay. So, you know, Netflix or something. That had 1.7 thousand votes. So 1,700 of you voted. So I am doing a little bit of promotional research for Amazon. 3/4 of your customers actually would watch an animated SGU movie. Okay, a big chunk of them won't pay for it, but if they did this, actually people would get excited about it. 1/4 of you wouldn't. That's a big percentage as well. But hey, Amazon, if you have done this, I actually applaud you for doing something quite brave. And if you haven't, then you're an idiot. You should have done it. But never mind. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification when it comes out. You can follow all these links that have been scrolling down at the bottom. Particularly go to patreon.com/SciTrek. That really supports the channel. As always, though, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.